my wardrobe. And like
Alrighty,
most of
guys. Brad, we're ready.
mate,
We're back. It's been a couple
we're
of
back.
weeks, bro. It's been a couple of weeks.
We've been busy.
But we're back. We're going to share with you 5 things that we're seeing working right now. But Brad's first time we've done an episode in a bit. I talk to you every day. But do you want to fill in the listeners on what's been happening in your world over the last 30, 60 days, my friend?
Mate, heaps is actually happening. I suppose the biggest change in the last 30 days is obviously I've come on board with the Inner Circle as a full time coach, which is
It's
absolutely
mad.
amazing, and it's so good. And I suppose the big thing for me is like I've got this massive vision to be helping 10,000 people, improve their health and fitness. And it was this shift where originally I thought I was going to be able to do that myself, right, with gyms and stuff. And now I'm realizing that I'm actually going to fulfill that dream by helping other business owners fulfill their dreams, which will fulfill mine. So it's now a lot bigger than me and my mission. It's all of the people we work with and helping them achieve theirs, which is awesome.
And much quicker as well. Hey? Like, especially, I think with like 330 members and they're all closing sales every week. It's like quite incredible what they're
It
all
is.
doing.
It is, mate. And what
So
about yourself? What's your sort of big news for the last sort of, I suppose it's been like probably 3 or 4 weeks since we've jumped on together. What sort of happened in your world that's been awesome?
not too much, guys. Like I'm in Sydney, so we just got out of lockdown. So that's been like really, really enjoyable. Just going to the gym and being able to enjoy a coffee, big brekkie. So not too much. Life was pretty messed up for a bit. So hopefully those across the world in lockdown or some type of lockdown environment, even though we still are, get that freedom soon. But mate, let's dive into it. So, guys, we've got like a bumper episode. We're going to be covering Facebook groups, Facebook ads, knowing your sales process, vision-based leadership, and also building a team. The 5 things that the very best business owners within the inner circle are doing really, really well and incredibly consistently. So with the first one, guys, with Facebook groups, absolutely crazy. So one of our members, Christine, I think she closed $11,000 in sales in 11 days off a free Facebook group. Now, Facebook groups are a little bit of a slow grind. You can grow them like quickly with ads and things like that, but it's not one of those things where generally you start to get sales in like 4 hours time, like you can, or 2 days time with Facebook ads. But these things, when you make it a really amazing community, really, really pay off. And Brad, obviously, we've got the Fitness Business Secrets group, and you have your own group as well, which you remember. I remember we built that like a year ago. We kind of did. I remember the trainings on that. But mate, what have you found in your time using groups? Because you're very, very good in both the groups that you own and manage.
I suppose the biggest thing, and Christine's a great believer in this and has done it very well, is it's about being consistent and having a real clear, vision that you have for your group. So, like Fitness Business Secrets obviously is ours. I'm pretty sure Christine's is fit, not skinny. So she has a
Correct. Yeah.
specific niche that she's working with, which she can drive people to and then help them solve a problem. So I suppose a lot of people, they create a group and just try and dump everyone in there. And then it's hard
Yeah.
to sort of cultivate it. Where I think what we teach and also have done really well is get a specific person in there, keep adding heaps of value consistently. Consistently is the key. Then when people are ready, they'll raise their hand and ask for help,
Yep.
which is a massive win. Compared to DMing people all the time, which as coaches, we've all been DM'd, and all of our clients have as well. But to have them actually raise their hand and ask for help because we've nurtured them and looked after them is definitely something that I think we've done very well. And our clients now, our members, are doing an amazing job of that as well.
Yeah, and so guys, if like you're listening or watching along, for the inner circle members, we've got all the training guides on how you grow a group, how you get 3 to 5 sales or more from a free group, all in the portal. Just flick Brad or myself an email. But I think the overarching thing, guys, is to make sure you add massive value. There's so many groups. So if you're watching or listening, go have a look at how many Facebook groups you're in. It'll probably make you sick how many you've joined over the years. So literally like 40, 50, maybe 100. And what you've got to think about is what makes your group stand out, what makes your group different. And even though you're running a free group, guys, always run it through the test of, would you pay $99 a week to be a part of this group? And if you wouldn't, you need to up your game and make it so valuable, because you give that value in advance or results in advance, and that's how you're able to extract a massive amount of sales within your business. And that's the key to any organic marketing, but especially with groups. And mate, the next one is paid ads, and you're a really big component of paid ads. They help you scale really, really well. And guys, what we find in the circle is people come and they want to generate more leads and more leads quickly. And the simple fact is, for that 20, $50 a day, you can generate between 7 and 15 leads every single week and just tick that lead thing off. Like, it's just ticked off, done, put it away. But Brad, tell us a little bit about how Facebook ads have kind of, changed your business, how they helped you grow, and why they're just so smart that pretty much everyone should be able to spend 30 to $60 a day.
Yeah, and it's something we say that, obviously the people inside the industry all the time. It gives you that predictability of leads. So
Yep.
you obviously know if your ad cost, like say your lead cost is $15 and you want 2 leads a day, it's $30 a day. So you can predict your lead cost per week. And then
Yep.
it'll help you, estimate your sales. And then anything that comes organically or referrals and stuff, that's like the cream on top, right? That's like the happy buffer you're going to get. But if you can get an estimate of, I'm going to get 15 leads per week. From those 15, I should sign 6. You can know where your business is going to be in the next 3, 6, 12 months, or have a good idea because you've got that coming through. And then there's going to be times where you put the foot down and increase it because you've got a challenge or something happening. And then also going to be times when you back it off a little bit when you're onboarding, maybe getting blocked up. But it gives you that predictability, with your business. But what about you, Jimmy? What have you, obviously you do a lot of our ads management for our guys inside of our inner circle. What, I suppose, feedback are you getting at the moment? Obviously, lots of gyms are reopening. What are you sort of seeing happen at the moment in regards to Facebook ads?
Like the agencies like at capacity at the moment. I think we've got like 3 or 4 spots, which is really good. But I think a lot of the like really savvy business owners are coming back and running ads. Especially guys, like a lot of people like watching or listening to this podcast are probably going to have a goal of generating about 10 leads a week, right? Like, obviously, as you get more advanced, you want 15, 20, 25. But I think if you're around that 10 to 15 leads a week mark, as like an initial goal, which is pretty common, running ads for that 30 to $50, we recommend highly running. We have like a 28-day or a 6-week offer because we know it converts really well on the front end, also on the back end, and you can self-liquidate, which is that, if you spend $200 on Facebook ads, you want to get $200 or more back from people paying you for a trial. We don't recommend like free trials and things like that in your paid ads. But guys, all the really savvy business owners, like, it's very, very rare in a fitness business if you talk to someone who's absolutely fucking crushing it that they're not running Facebook ads. So it's probably a pretty good sign that if you want to absolutely dominate, and not be that 2% of people who crush it without ads because they're outliers and just be like, cool, good for you. The 98% are using ads. And if you want to grow your fitness business, I highly recommend either learning to do it yourself, which is a really great skill. That's how I did it. And then Brad, you know how to run your ads as well. And then down the line, right, you can get an agency if you couldn't be bothered learning it, or you're not tech savvy, or sometimes like you just get over running them. That's how I started the agency, right? Like, I just got over running 3 ad accounts. So we started to work with a team, and then off the back of it, we had a digital agency, which was quite cool. And mate, the next one's like really down your alley. So I've been so impressed with what you've done with the members in the inner circle on how clear their sales process is. Such incredible wins with, we've got the different section now on selling by a face-to-face or selling over the phone. But mate, tell me a little bit about like what the guys who do really well in sales and how well they know their sales process.
Yeah, and it's something that a lot of people struggle when they first start. They sort of, no one joins the fitness industry to be a salesperson, right? We join the fitness industry to help people get results and train, and then we have to learn everything else on top. And I think the big shift has been a lot of people, through lockdown and stuff, they were half thinking about phone sales. They were trying to do some face to face and Zoom, and they were very indecisive of what they actually wanted to do. So didn't have a process or a script because they were swapping and changing, with opening and being closed and all this sort of stuff. So we sort of sat down there and said, okay, let's work out what plan you want to use or what system. Is it phone sales? Is it Zoom? Is it face to face? Is it phone sales if you're in lockdown and face to face when you're open? And
Yep.
then let's work through the script so every person is going through the same system, and then we can refine it. Because a lot of the coaches didn't have scripts, or they'd got a little bit from one person and a little bit from something else, and then they see a closing line on a TikTok clip from a business coach that they like, and they want to add that into their script because it looks cool. So really getting them to refine their system and then practice, 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 role play it, record your calls. So really, I suppose they're diving into that system now, and they're just refining the system that they have to get better at it. Where I
Yep.
suppose before, and we've seen it with systems before, when you don't have a system and you're just swapping and changing it all the time, you don't know what's working and what's not. So you
Yep.
can't make it better because it's just always all over the shop. So now we've given them systems to put in place, and they're implementing those systems and those scripts by refining it and getting the data, getting the feedback. They can
Yep.
obviously adapt it and make it better.
Yeah, and I really like the role plays that you do within the group. They're like really really cool. I get to like I'm not on there live, but I get to watch a couple on replay, and they're really really insightful. Hey, like when you have a look, and I think role plays is so important. And Brad, mate, on like a little bit different topic, you've been doing some really high level sales coaching at the moment. Has there been anything that any really kind of advanced kind of stuff that you've learned, or maybe is it the basics? Because you've been going like hard out with your sales study lately. It's been
I
been
suppose
a bit inspirational actually.
it's funny, right? Because you, you just, if you think you're the best in the room, you're in the wrong room for starters, right? And I still close at a really good rate and things like that, but you just
I
you
went
just
10 for 10 yesterday, I think. Not bad.
yeah, you just get around better people and refine the systems. And Jeremy Miner, who I'm working with, Matt Ryder, the guys at Closing Code and stuff like that, they're just um, you know so different in regards to how they teach selling and how they sell. In regards to making it more about communication, it's very high level conversations compared to the old style of selling where you just bash people over the head till they buy your product.
Yep.
So it's a nice way to sell. So just I suppose immersing myself in people like that, and getting my skills honed in, is allowing me to then also go and help educate our members inside of our program.
Yeah, because with a little bit of the stuff they do, they think that the way people buy or like to be sold has changed over the years, right? Because of all those probably, like I haven't studied much of Jeremy's stuff, but is it because of all of the hard sales over those years that now people are defensive, or has he ever shared that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so obviously because of the way people have been sold to, right? Like people, I suppose on the back
Sleazy
foot,
car
there's
salesman,
yeah, sleazy
when you're a
car sales,
kid.
right? So
Yep.
yeah, so Jeremy speaks about the new style of selling, NEPQ, and all this sort of stuff. So it's just about getting people to buy, ethically first of all, like doing it the right way and getting them to use their emotion to buy, and the cost of inaction, which we speak about a lot, and showing them that the only thing sort of holding them back is generally themselves.
Yep. Now, guys, we're on point 4 and 5. So just to recover what we've done. So Facebook groups, paid ads, and then knowing your sales process. So we're going to go into a little bit of vision and leadership and team now. But, the next point when Brad and I were discussing is, just having a really great vision for your business. And Brad, do you want to let the guys know the quote about the bad weeks? I think it's super relevant as we get into it. Your quote about having a bad week.
Yeah, so like obviously like a bad week doesn't make a bad business. And you and I spoke obviously before this call, and we think about it all the time. Actually, it's a common thing that comes up with us that a lot of people are very short term their goals are very short term. Where
Yep.
we speak about the inner circle. Where do we want our business to be in 5 years and 10 years, and the legacy we want to leave. And I speak about helping 10,000 people with their health and fitness goals and that sort of stuff. So they're sort of long term goals that we then sort of break down. So when you think like that, a bad week is literally like a raindrop in the ocean, right? It's nothing.
Yep.
But if you're short term, if you're thinking 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, a week inside 12 weeks is a fair chunk of time. So people have a bad week, they start stressing out, they make irrational decisions trying to fix all this stuff, where it could just literally be you had a bad week. The
Yep.
thing is not letting that bad week turn into a bad fortnight, a bad month.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the best things I ever did was instead of setting like 3 month goals, 3 weeks goals, 30-day sprints, I set 5 year goals. And I just read those every day. And it's like, cool, this is where I want to be in 5 years. And you understand that it's going to be like a process to get there. And it makes you a lot more patient. But, guys, the fitness industry's been like everyone's been kicked in the guts at some stage over the last 18, 24 months, right? And what I've found with like coaching people is those people who have a vision and they're like there's something that they really want to achieve and change the world, like they want to get certain amount of people, certain amount of transformations and something deeper, are those ones that like really aren't quitting, and when it's really tough they're the ones that are actually doing the work in COVID, in lockdowns and things like that. And a lot of people, I think, within the fitness industry, they get into it because they're like trainers, and then they think it's pretty low barrier to entry to own a gym. It's probably too low, to be fair. Like 100K, you'll probably have a nicer gym than most people, right? But I think that has forced people that where they just buy jobs and it's just like a day-to-day thing. And when it's got really tough over the last 18 months, they've wanted to quit. They've put their head in the sand, and it's because they don't understand why they're in business and they don't have that really big vision that they're driving for. So I can't stress enough, guys, like how much you need to focus on your vision and what you're really trying to achieve in business, because if you don't do that, when you have a bad week, it feels like hell, right? Because you don't know where you're going over the next 2 to 3 years or even 5 years. And this virus, which has lasted 18 months now or whatever, is a really prime example of that, because only the people who are vision based are still motivated and still really pushing through. And Brad, have you ever done like much study on vision and that focus with all the courses you've done over the time?
I haven't done a lot on vision and things like that, to be completely honest. But I suppose the biggest thing that I have learned is that you need to communicate what that is,
Yep.
because a lot of the time it's bigger than yourself. And like we said, like we have a mission with the inner circle, and I have my personal mission, 10,000 people. But a lot of people like to be involved in people's missions. So
Yep.
if you're trying to get X amount, like if you've got a goal, say it's like I want to help people lose 10,000 kilos. If you speak about that and put that into the people are going to get involved in that, and this is how people start movements.
Yep.
Like they get people involved that believe in that culture. They can buy into that outcome. They can buy into that vision, into that mission, and you can literally, create whole ecosystems that are going to grow because you're sharing why it's so important to you. It's not just a job, not just a trainer going to work. You have this mission, this vision that you want for your facility and your business, that people will get involved in it, and it will help you grow.
Yeah. Mate, 100%. It's a good little segue into our final point, which is building a team. Because, like, if anyone's ever played sport, unless the sporting team has a vision of where they're going, it's an absolute shit show. I've played in some good sporting teams. I've also played in some shit house sporting teams in my life, sadly. It's always a tough year in those years. But the best businesses and the best business owners, whether it's a team of 2, a team of 4, a team of 24, they have really amazing teams and culture. And Brad, I must admit, at TBC, you've done such a great job harnessing that. You've kept coaches for a very, very long time. Do you want to discuss like some of the things on how you build a team, how you make them on the same mission? Because you're very close with your coaches.
Yeah, and obviously the big thing is obviously having a mission and having a vision for what you want to do and achieve. And you also need to understand what your coaches and what your staff want to achieve, what's their mission, what's their goals, what's their aspirations in life. And whether it's the trainer who's working alongside you in your facility, or whether it's a virtual assistant you have, in the Philippines or somewhere else, you need to know what actually drives them. We've got some amazing virtual assistants on our team that, they're every time you speak anything about them, it's always about their grandparents and how they can help their grandparents or their family. So it allows you to, okay, cool. Like if we get some time, whatever, like Jimmy and I want to go over and visit these guys and all this sort of stuff, but we buy into what their vision is as much as they buy into us, and it helps us grow and develop because, again, it's stronger than just a job. We're all working to help each other fulfill what we want to fulfill.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think guys like especially with vision and like goals and aspirations in the Philippines, I have like a thing called the 13th month where they get like essentially an extra month of pay. And I think giving your team a goal and a vision. So firstly, they know where the company's going over the next 3 to 5 years. It makes it exciting, especially as you're growing and moving towards it. But also with your team, giving them like 12-month targets for them to work for their bonuses and things like that.
They say they have the 13th month. We could have just been have the blinds pulled over us, Jimmy. But
If they hit their targets, bro, they can have the 15th month. I don't give a
right, they
fuck.
can have it. They can have it. It's good. But you're so right. Like, and we've got an amazing team, and a lot of the time, I suppose people take their team for granted. A lot of people, when they first start hiring staff, they want to micromanage and have their nose in it. And the goal of essentially like outsourcing and hiring staff is hiring people that are better at a particular job than you are, right? So you
Yep.
can learn from them and give them enough rope where they can sort of lead the way and you can follow. And I think that's a big thing that we've done. And I know, we do it when we hire our virtual assistants in the inner circle and stuff like that, is we want to hire people that are better at things than we are. So they can lead the way and do the job. So you need to understand their vision and their mission, but also give them credit for the experience and knowledge that they have and let them
Yep.
bring that to the table.
Yeah, and I think, guys, with building a team, I'm like a very simple person. I always look at if I, you might own your business or manage your business at the moment, but would you actually want to be a staff member in your business? And you got to really step out of it and not just say, oh, yeah, like, of course, but actually look and think about it deeply. Like, is it an enjoyable place to work for? Is everyone happy and friendly there? Are they growing both professionally and personally? Are they getting educated and inspired to actually become better in their role? Are they being supported enough? And is there an amazing community, not just with the clients, but also with the internal staff, where that's where like your weekly meetings, your, quarterly events together, the Christmas parties, the good times, the working for goals together, where you really feel like truly like a sporting team. And those guys watching along or listening who have been a part of like a premiership winning team will fucking like truly understand that everyone's together, you're with the boys, that you work hard together at training, you win together, you're down at 3/4 time, but you get up and fucking win, and then you party like nothing else. Because I think good sporting teams, right, can be reflected. And that was one of the things I think has always helped me really, really well in business, is like playing sport at a reasonably high level, because you understand that team culture and camaraderie and, what a good coach, what a bad coach is, what a good teammate is, what a shit teammate is as well. And Brad, mate, because I know you played a bit of sport. Have you ever learned like any real core fundamental business things from playing sport in your life?
Yeah, I suppose the one that sort of stands out is like nothing is as big as the team, right? Like, doesn't matter how good you are. And like I'm an AFL guy, right? So
Like Ben
everyone
Simmons at the
goes,
moment, basketball
yeah,
player.
yeah, Ben
Fucking
Simmons in the
idiot.
basketball, Dusty
Spastic.
Martin in plays for Richmond. All these guys are amazing, but they couldn't go out by themselves and win the game. You need your
Mm.
team, no matter how big or small a role they play.
Yep.
Everyone needs to do their part. And if someone's having a bad day, the rest of the team gets around and lifts them up. You don't,
Yep.
push them out into the back paddock and let them put them to pasture. You drag them in, you build them back up. The coach brings you in, have a chat, slaps you on the bum, get back out there, let's go. So it's about knowing that people are going to have bad days, bad weeks. That's fine, but build them up, help them learn from their mistakes, and
Yep.
grow. Because people make mistakes, right? Have bad weeks. It's just part of life. But it's how we respond to that as a team, how we uplift people to grow and become better.
Mate, 100%. I couldn't say it better myself. And guys, that's all I've got for you today. So Facebook ads, make sure you use your group, know your sales process, focus on your vision, make sure you build a great team. Guys, if you got a little bit of value from today, would love if you screenshot, tag us on Instagram, Jimmy_Pomponio, Brad_Bedford87. We love when you guys share the content. We bring this to you guys for free. And if you're kind of watching along for the first time, if you're not an Inner Circle member, if you kind of liked what we're talking about, if it made sense to you, if you think that working together every single day in your business would cover the cost of our course, which is $50 a week, reach out to us on social media. You can jump on a call with Big Brad himself, or one of our other amazing sales reps to maybe talk about getting started if it makes sense. Finally, Brad, what's the number one thing? So we have a rule in the Inner Circle, no working on the weekends apart from Success Saturdays. What are you looking forward to most on the weekend, my man?
Mate, I have my baby shower this weekend, this Sunday, with my beautiful wife. So I'm super excited for that. Obviously, get to catch up with family and friends and stuff as well. And that'll be good. How about yourself?
Mate, I trounced my mate Pete Sutton. So I'm going to send this to Pete, make sure he listens. Absolutely trounced him in, that's my mates calling me to have beers, but absolutely trounced him in tennis on Sunday. And I'm going to bring the heat and really smash him on Sunday again. So I'm looking forward to that. And actually, my cousin's going to a hotel in the city with his wife just to chill out. So I get to babysit his puppies, the two Hungarian visitors. So, mate, that'll be pretty good hanging out with them. So love the weekends. So, but guys,
enjoy.
We're going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for watching along or listening. If you need anything, please reach out to either Brad or myself. We're always here to help. If you have any questions off the back of the podcast, please let us know. Please make sure you take a screenshot and tag us on Instagram. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you, Brad.